Hello, welcome to Diving In Consciously. I'm your host, Erica Van Eaton. Today, we're going to talk about angels and other sentient beings of light. I'm going to talk about my introduction to them, which was through my kids. I had never really thought about them much up to that point before having kids, and I would like to gift you an experience to feel these beings that are around us, assisting us, with us, as us, through us. I had a couple of different spiritual experiences when I was growing up. I didn't think much about them. I didn't talk to anybody about them, and I didn't do anything about them. There were different things when I was really young, but when I was in junior high, my grandpa had passed away. And the first Thanksgiving after he had passed, we were all at my grandma's house, all sitting around this table that we always all sat at and ate as a family, meaning my uncles and aunts and things. And when we were sitting down eating, I saw my grandpa standing at the head of the table. He didn't quite look like I'm looking on the screen. It was more of this kind of transparent image of him standing there. And it wasn't even so much about the way that I saw him, it was what I was feeling from him. I remember looking up because I felt him first. I felt just this joy and this love coming from him. And I looked up and I noticed, and I could feel him smiling. You know, when someone is smiling and you feel that joy radiating from them, I could feel him smiling at having us all together. And we were really having a good time. My dad's family is pretty awesome, so it's always easy to have a good time with them. But we were having a good time, and he was experiencing and the joy that we were feeling as a family, but also the joy of being there with us at that time. And I could feel that. But I remember looking around the table, and nobody else knew he was there. And I knew nobody else knew that he was there. And I didn't say anything. I didn't even feel like I should say something. It was something that I experienced, that I felt, and then he was gone. And then I just went about my day. There was another time in high school when I was having a really difficult time. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night, and there was the Divine Mother Mary standing in the doorway of my room. It was the most comforting feeling that I had ever had in my entire life. I could see her, sense her, feel her. And you know, when you've never been introduced to somebody, but you immediately know who they are, it was that sense of like, I just knew who she was. And I wasn't shocked and I wasn't scared. I just felt the most comforting presence. And I fell back into the deepest sleep that I had ever slept. And it just felt amazing. But again, it's not something that I ever shared. I didn't even think about sharing it. It was just something that occurred, and then I went on with my life. When I had kids, it doesn't happen so much to them now because they're a little bit in the forgetting process. They're still open intuitively and empathically, but some of their other senses for right now are a little shut down while they're experiencing life, and that's fine. It happens to most of us, and it's what they want. But when they were really little, they would come into my room in the middle of the night and they'd be like, "Hey, mom, there's an angel in my room." And I had never really talked to them about angels because, you know, we all heard the term angels. We've all maybe had even a conversation about angels or referred to angels, but I don't know that most of us have ever really thought about their existence and how they interact with us and all the things. And I had never really had that discussion with my kids, but when they were toddlers, they would come up and be like, "Hey, mom, there's an angel in my room." And I'm like, "How do you know that's what it is?" I didn't say that. I was just like, "Okay, you want to show me?" And I'd go into the room, and I couldn't really see that at the time. Like my clairvoyance wasn't really open, but I could feel, and I could feel this presence in the room. And they didn't describe them as having wings or a halo above their head. It was the energy that they could see. They could see a green presence, they could see a blue presence, and that was their description of it. I remember one time that I was sitting on the bed with my youngest, and we were reading a book, and he looked over at the window, and the shades were closed because the sun was coming in pretty bright, and the shades were closed. And he's like, "Oh, there's rainbow angels over there." And I couldn't see them, but I could feel them and I could hear this really high, beautiful ringing in my ears. And we just sat there for a while. And then he just looked away and we went back to reading the book. So I had this continual introduction of the idea of the angelic realm to me through my kids when they were younger because they were very open and I wasn't going to shut them down. My oldest son had talked to people that I couldn't see since, he started talking. He would have these full-blown conversations with them. And I knew in my heart not to say, no, that's not real, or no, that's not true, because something told me that it was. I just didn't know. I didn't know how to connect. I didn't understand um, vibrations. I didn't understand energy. I didn't understand different realms. I just didn't have a background for it. I had nothing. I was just getting this information through my kids. And it wasn't until I started meditating and opening myself up to become more aware of the energy around me that I really started to deeply connect with the angelic realm and understand that these are beings of light here to assist and ascend us. But we have free will here, so they can't help unless we ask. Now, when I connect with the angelic realm now, it isn't like I am going outside of my body and I'm trying to go to the realm that they're in. It is something internal now. It's a door that I open within my own heart space that allows me to access the dimensional space inside of me to connect with the I am that is the archangels or that are the angelic guides around me. So if I think about receiving intuitive guidance or something from a source that's outside of me, then it creates a sense of separation or even unworthiness between me and intuitive guidance, intelligence, wisdom, consciousness, all the things. So it would be something that I have to pull in from the outside in. And that creates dissonance from me being empowered as an aspect of source. Now, with the knowledge and understanding that all energy came from one source, we were all connected at one time. That means that there are aspects of you that is me. There are aspects of me that is you. So there are aspects of the angelic realm that are us. And a lot of the building blocks of our I am come from the angelic creators. The I am, like Archangel Raphael, is often associated with healing. So it's I am healing. Archangel Michael is incredibly powerful and cleansing. And so it's the I am of empowerment. So we connect with the I am through our heart space because it's proclaiming that I am, that I am, that I am power, that I am healing. And so I'm receiving this information from within rather than trying to pull it from the outside in. Now, we are soul. Our souls are vast, and our souls are multidimensional. And so there's just this one aspect of me that you're seeing in this 3D realm, this physicality, but this isn't all that I am. I'm a lot bigger than that, and so are you. And we can know this at those times. We have these moments of deja vu, or you have these moments when you've driven home from work the same way a gazillion times, or from school or wherever a million times, and you get home and you don't remember how you got there. Your body was on autopilot, but your consciousness was clearly somewhere else because you don't actually remember the drive. That means a lot of your energy, a lot of your awareness was pulled out and residing somewhere else at that time because you weren't consciously here. So where were you? You were in another dimensional aspect of you. So if I open the door in my heart, because that's the seat of the soul, it's the seat of divine love. And then all the emotions, everything else that we experience are deviations of divine love. So if this is divine love, and we're experiencing anger, it's just an incoherency of divine love, but it is still connected to divine love. It's not separate. So everything is divine love, which resides in our heart space. If we open the door, divine love gives us access to these other multidimensional aspects of self. So if I'm opening the door to divine love, then I'm trusting and I'm knowing who I am. And I just play pretend in the beginning. I played pretend that I could feel the angels. I played pretend that I could hear them or see them. It took that play energy to relax my mind from trying to do it perfectly, from trying to be a perfect channel or, a perfect intuitive or a perfect healer. It just relaxed me enough. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to open the door. I'm going to step inside and I'm going to go to the sixth dimensional plane where the archangels reside. And I'm going to see how they build the blocks of the structures that created this reality. I'm just playing. In the beginning, you're just playing. The more relaxed your nervous system is while you're in this play mode, the easier your psychic senses turn on because you're not trying to do it perfect and you're not scared to do it wrong because you're just playing. You're just playing like a kid. And that's why kids can often see, feel, sense things that adults can't because they haven't shut things down because they're not trying to do it perfect. They're not programmed to see the world a certain way or to believe that things can't exist. We're just playing here. Why don't we go ahead and try and connect to the I am of, I often connect to the I am of Archangel Metatron. I know he sounds like a robot. He is not. But Archangel Michael is someone that's very familiar to a lot of you. Archangel Raphael is very familiar. Archangel Gabriel is very familiar. Uriel, very familiar. Archangel Michael is actually the one coming forward that would like to play with you today. So let's practice connecting to the angelic realm through you instead of from the outside in. So taking a deep breath, shoulders down, chin up, breathing a little deeper, breathing a little slower, gently guiding the nervous system to relax even more. Feeling the earth come up and ground you underneath you. Good. Now, what I would like you to do is see, sense, know, imagine there's a door in your heart, and you open the door and you walk into the sixth dimensional space. You don't have to know what it looks like, you don't have to know what it feels like. That's just your intention. And energy flows where intention goes. So that's where we're placing our attention and intention. And then we ask for the I am presence of Archangel Michael to come forward. And now you might begin to feel like a pressure in your heart. You might begin to feel he's quite warm, like I'm getting hot. That's his energy, that's his presence, but it's also within you too. You harness this same I am presence. So we're activating that same I am power within ourselves that is often called the I am of Archangel Michael. So we're asking for his presence to come forward. And I say him, angels are really Andromedas, but he has a definite masculine feel that's associated with that kind of power and that kind of heat that he brings forward in us. So just see, sense, know, feel any kind of difference in your energy field. And wherever you can even see like my neck starting to get red because it's hot. It's a lot of energy. And then you can ask him a question. Ask him a yes, no question first. Something really simple of the I am presence of Archangel Michael is my name, Erica. Like you can say your name. And then when you say your name in that question, where do you feel a yes? Or if you said my name and your name is Bob, where do you feel a no? So just ask yourself 2 yes or no questions. And you're asking Archangel Michael. So you get a feel for what it feels like when he's giving you direction, when you're asking for guidance, when you're asking for intuitive information, how it's going to feel in your body. Do you feel it in your chest? Do you feel it in your gut? Do you feel like you're leaning one way or the other way? Good. Now we can ask the I am of Archangel Michael of power to cleanse and clear our energy field of any debris. And Archangel Michael has a beautiful golden vacuum that he likes to put at the top of your head. So imagine a golden vacuum being up there, and you can start to almost, well, I can definitely feel it. A lot of people can feel this. If you can't, it's okay. Just imagine that there's a vacuum there that's beginning to suck out everyone else's energy, everyone else's doubts, fears, judgments, shames. Everyone else's negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions are getting cleansed and cleared out of your energy field and sucked up into this vacuum. And then he's going to take it and recycle it, but the vacuum's still running. You can probably still feel the pull at the crown of your head. So, if we're proclaiming sovereignty over our energy field and we're using our I am power, activating our I am power to clear our field out, then we're commanding other people's energies to leave our field. So we're just going to say it one more time, asking for Archangel Michael, the I am that I am, to vacuum, cleanse, clear any other attachments, any other non beneficial thought forms, which are just like packets of incoherent energy that coagulate together. Remember, because incoherent frequencies are kind of sticky. Vacuum, cleanse, clear any and all negative thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Pulling it out of the mind. I can feel like there's some things stuck in your guys' brains where other people's thoughts were a vibrational match to your thoughts. And so it came in and they formed little bonds. So we're just releasing that from your minds. So if I'm working with a client that wants to learn how to channel, or they just want to feel their guides, or maybe they want to feel loved ones that passed over, this is the same, it's kind of the same technique, but a little different for different things. But anytime a sentient being of light comes into your field, even if they're coming through you, they come through and they tend to come to the same spot every time. So if you are feeling Archangel Michael, I usually just feel him like straight in front of me. Some people feel him off to the left every time. Some people feel him off to the right every time. But that's how you can begin to know too who is in your field. Just pay attention. Where do you feel a little bit more pressure or heat? Or like a really strong hug? Okay, good. The vacuum is kind of cleansing, clearing now. So now we can ask him to take the vacuum away. And a lot of people like to imagine him with a big sword that can cut through enmeshments. So if there's any enmeshments, tethers, ties, or cords to any other people, places, or things, you can imagine again that he's wielding this big sword that is going to cut through, release, bless, and take back to source any enmeshments, cords, tethers, ties to any other person, place, or thing. All around your energy field. Good. He's going to go around one more time, all around your field. I don't know if you can feel him moving around. I'm getting really hot again. Anytime that we're releasing emotional baggage, emotions, period, we tend to get hot because emotions carry so much energy. So it's like, when you get really angry, you usually get hot and sweaty. It's because of the amount of energy that's produced. It's a lot. And so when we are releasing, even if we're releasing someone else's emotions from our energy field, you still tend to get very hot. And because Archangel Michael is a cleanser, he's clearing out all of this gunk. We tend to get very warm when he's around doing his thing. So, with other beings that are really good at like lifting your vibration, if you are wanting to expand, and let's say we want to feel our I am of light and we ask for Archangel Uriel to come forward, you're going to really expand and you'll start to feel cooler because you move beyond the emotional body into, a faster dimensional field. And when you do that, you actually start to feel a little cooler. And sometimes you actually feel cold because you're not playing with emotion. You're beyond the emotional body. Good. Now that feels really centering. First, we're going to tell him thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for cleansing, clearing. Thank you for playing with our I am and strengthening and activating our I am presence. And now we're going to ask him to take a step back so that you can feel when he leaves your field. So we're just going to shut the door on our heart space as he goes back through your heart, and you shut the door. And now you can kind of feel that energy dissipating. Okay, about half of you didn't want to do that, and that's fine. You enjoyed how it felt to have him present. Continue playing with that. But when you're ready, just ask him to go back through the door, and you then shut the door, and then you can feel your energy settling a little again. And like I'm feeling the heat starting to release from me as his powerful presence and my I am power is calming down. And then I just take a deep breath, thanking, 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 and feeling so much gratitude for him playing with us as an aspect of us, through us, with us. So he's not something that's separate from us. He's something that is within all of us as an aspect of us as source. Thank you for playing with me today. Thank you for trying something new with me and trusting this time with me. Thank you for sharing this episode for others that you feel could really benefit to connect with their guides. And thank you for sharing this episode with others that you feel could really benefit from connecting with their guides and just playing and having fun and feeling the lightness of it all. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you for commenting, and so much love and light.